Hello beautiful, so welcome along a little bit later than usual. I am here with this week's episode of the Sensitive Superstar series, and today I want to talk about something really exciting, and I'm just checking that this is working on the right page. Let me just double check. So while I'm checking that, hello, if I haven't met you before, my name is Cara. I'm the founder of the Sensitive Sisterhood, and I work with spiritual rebels and change makers to support them to really unleash their sensitivity as their superpower. And we are working and we are cooking on gas, which is awesome. So today I want to talk about if you're in a place right now where you want to create courageous change, whether that is in your life, your relationships, the work that you're currently doing or you want to be doing, your business, maybe it's within your community, maybe it's to take part in something to take part on a world scale or a global scale. I want to talk about that today with you, whether it's a small step out of a comfort zone or a big massive leap. And specifically I want to share with you about how you do it before you're ready, without burnout or exhaustion, and with total support. So this is something that I feel really passionate about. I totally got this, that as sensitive women, we are here to create masses of change, of compassionate change, within the way we feel about ourselves, the way we show up for ourselves, the way we show up in our family life, in our relationships, the way we feel in the work that we do, and the way that we play at that out on a bigger scale, whether that's using our voices to support movements, to create movements, to collaborate in different ways, to bring out new ideas, or to support community projects, to bring things out into the world that need to be birthed, right? And it really is there's really so much that can come from owning your sensitivity as your superpower. The generosity, the compassion, the empathy, the insight, the intuition, the compassion. There is so much. And what I have experienced myself, and what I work a lot with clients and my members, is that there are things that block us and stop us and prevent us from doing that in the way that we would like to, and those boulders are our inner fear freaks. And our inner fear freaks, the 5 inner fear freaks that we all have within us, are not there to beat ourselves up about or to do battle with. They are there so that we can really gain a really deep insight into ourselves, into who we are, into how we're showing up, so that we can really let go, release those old stories, those old beliefs, those old habits, so that we can bring ourselves into the world in a much bigger way, a brighter way, a more compassionate way, a more gentle way, a more fiercely loving way. So yeah, I don't know where you're at right now. I'd love to know. Share with me, what you wanting to create courageous change. What does that mean for you right now? I'd love to know. Share with me what courageous change looks like or feels like for you. Share that with me. And when you have an idea, or you have certainly something that I talk a lot about, is using your fury as your fuel. And if you're going to join me next week in the free online festival that's happening, and I'll talk a bit about that at the end, there is a day dedicated to that. There's a day talking about using your fury as your fuel. So maybe if you're not totally clear on, well, this is my stake in the ground, or this is what I'm here to do, or this is what I'm already doing, but there are things that really get you going, that really get that fire in you, and those are the things really that you're here to help, support, or birth, or bring out. So really knowing what that is as well is really important, and not trying to push that down, not trying to ignore the signs that are there that are telling you, like, this is something you believe in, this is something that's important to you, you should do something about this. So I'm going to be, let's say, sharing more about that next week. And in fact, the theme for the whole festival next week, is a loose theme, is creating courageous change. So one of the biggest things that will stop us from creating that courageous change, being part of that, is the idea that we are not yet ready, that we have to learn something else, that we have to get it all right, that we have to have done like another layer of work on ourselves, that we need to get this certificate in place, that we need to wait until we've changed our hairdo, or this has happened energetically, or there's a full moon. And while all of those are, you know, things that go on for you, they are not things that need to stop you, because you will never be ready. You will never ever be ready. And it's really important that you understand that is always going to be something that could hold you back, this idea that you're not quite ready for it. And the thing is that you're going to be working on yourself forever. There are always going to be new nuances that you discover. There are always going to be new things that trigger you. There will always be an opportunity that for something to get healed in a deeper way, right? So that's always going to be going on for you. So as long as you're committed to showing up for yourself, and you're committed to doing the work and doing the healing and having the support, whatever that looks like for you, you can start on, you know, with creating that courageous change, right? You can start with that. You don't have to wait until you have healed all the ancestral line. You don't have to wait until the next blue moon that's happening. You can start now, as long as you're committed to yourself. You've got that insight about your inner fear freaks, and you are like working always on how you're releasing that, and that you have got support around you. Okay, the second thing that I hear a lot from sensitive women is feeling burnt out and feeling exhausted with the weight of, you know, your own personal expectations, your desire to see change, your impact, you know, the impact that you want to create or that you're trying to find. And, you know, it's great to have high standards. It's really, really important. And I'm a very driven person. I am very impact driven. But you don't need to burn yourself out, and you don't have to get exhausted with everything that's going on, because you can show up and be your well-being warrior. And like I say, during the festival next week, where we're going to look at using your fury as your fuel, we're also going to have a whole day dedicated to being your well-being warrior, because this is really important. We're talking about self-care, we're talking about your practice, we're talking about boundaries, all of that kind of juicy stuff that will help you avoid burnout. I've just got 10% left on my phone here. That will help you avoid exhaustion, or certainly will help you course correct, and will help you find ways of managing that, and of really accessing what it is you need internally. And then the third thing that happens so often when we are, you know, we're stepping up, we're using our voices, we want to use our privilege, you know, we want to use our stories to support other people, is we feel like we've got to kind of do it on our own, or that we are on our own with it. And that is one of the fastest ways to getting totally overwhelmed, or to retreating, right? To like going into that place of suppressing again, pretending, numbing. So you have to be supported. You have to have a group around you that really get you, that are willing to show up for you, and that are willing to give you a kick up the bum with love when you need it. And that is so, so important. So if you decide that, you know, this is something that you wanna really kind of go into in more depth, and you would love more support and inspiration, and have more of an insight into, you know, where you want to be going with creating courageous change, and what you could be doing, and how you're going to take action with it, then show up next week. It's within the Sensitive Sisterhood Festival. I'll pop the link below, and you can really feel like the difference of having a community around you, a really supportive group, because creating communities is something that I love doing, and that is really, I know it's made so many changes in my life, and I love doing that now. So that's going to be a big part of next week. It's going to be you exploring what courageous change means to you in your life, your relationships, your work, your business, your community, the world, where you can explore whether that's taking steps or big leaps. You can really explore your inner fear freaks and how they might place that big ass boulder in front of that for you, and how you can move that out of the way. with a whole lot of fierce, gentle living. How you can really be your wellbeing warrior, and we will look at imperfect practice, we'll look at self-care and boundaries. And also you can really feel what it's like to have that support around you. And you know, there is always room for more support. There is always room to really receive more of what you want. And what I would say before I go is there is so much space available for you. There is so much opportunity available for you, and none of having a mission or wanting to be part of a movement or being part of a movement already or being driven by impact, none of that has to be at the detriment or means a compromise in, you know, your connection, your friendships, your relationships, your home life. It just means you'll become more discerning. You'll truly be showing up for yourself, and you'll be really wanting to receive and give in the most loving and compassionate way. So I'll pop the link for the festival below. Like I say, let me know where you're at right now with creating courageous change in your life, and if you want to go deeper with this, then please do come and join us next week. We would love to have you, and I will see you soon. Lots of love.